Of course, Alex, Real Madrid had no representatives in that Spanish squad for the World Cup win, so they're going to get some in. Rodri, tell me about it.
Yeah, and of course they got Marc Cucurella just before the tournament, didn't they, to make sure they had one Spain player at least in the squad. Rodri, we understand is happening. We understand the delay has been because City have wanted to get a player in before they let Rodri go, but that essentially the deal is either done or close to being done because Rodri only wants to go to one club, and that is Real Madrid. All the talk in recent days of, Barca might be interested or keeping an eye on things. No, Rodri wants to play for Real Madrid. So we understand that deal is close to being done. The other one, of course, is Yan Diamande, and we understand that deal is done and may be made official in the next day or so after sort of some haggling between the two clubs, Madrid and Leipzig, over the details over the last week or so. So that's two more players, two big-name players that are coming in to Real Madrid in the next week or so, I guess.
It's a big summer of transition at City, Jan. Wouldn't you want a leader like Rodri to be at the club?
You know, that philosophy they had under Pep, when Pep was like the big professor, the big successful professor, the big coach, said, if they don't want to play here, they're going to leave. Maresco will say, totally opposite. I need my players. I need a good start. I need Rodri here. He is the brain of this team. So Pep would have probably said, yeah, if Rodri want to leave, I doubt that one. I could be wrong. I doubt that they will let Rodri go now in this unbelievable decisive period after Pep Guardiola. We've seen at the club with Sir Alex, we've seen in Werder Bremen back in the days with Otto Rehagel. For those of you who know that clubs can disappear, and we've seen that at Liverpool as well, Steve. I won't get into that. But I would like to see to think that Manchester City will be desperate to keep Rodri, and then we'll see how long they can stick to it. I think Rodri is a very loyal player. If they tell him that he's going to stay that year, he's gonna stay there. In terms of Diamande, I see there are some football experts around the world saying that he is that is fixed. It's not fixed. Schäfer von Leipzig said, was it yesterday? We are negotiating, but we're still not there. Everybody thinks that it's likely that he will arrive at Real Madrid, and of course that would be a great signing for them.
How devastating would it be for Manchester City if Rodri left?
I mean, you're taking what was critical to the success of Spain in the World Cup. You're taking that piece away from Manchester City, and you're taking experience, you're taking leadership, you're taking all the things that he brings, and you're taking a high level of play, which we hadn't seen from Rodri most of the season last year, but we saw it in the World Cup, and you imagine that he carries that onto this season.
Is there an argument to say, yeah, it's fine to do it over a short period, like the World Cup, as opposed to 38 games in the Premier League?
And that would be a very good argument to make, but when the guy walks into the facility with the golden ball, like, hey, it's hard to just kind of go, it's good because he lasted 6 weeks. It's just hard, and I think it's something that you touched upon there initially. In a period of transition, you need some people that know, hey, this is what we want to do, this is what we want to get, and this is how we're going to get there. I've been there with the club, I've been there with the national team. I know what this feels like, I know what this smells like. Let me be part of this, or at least if you're the club, you would want him to be part of the process for the now. Perhaps not for the future, but for the now. Once you get your team settled, then you start making decisions on Rodri. I just don't think that you allow this amount of experience to walk out the door. And it's not only him. Bernardo Silva is already gone. So you're talking about players that have been really important to this club, and you're just allowing that experience to walk out, and you're kind of going, okay, how much is too much? This may be too much.
It did feel as though last year, though, it was kind of... could be time to move on, because he was struggling. And he turns around and has a fantastic 8 weeks. But guess what? He needs an operation. So I'm not so sure that Man City are absolutely going to be turning around to him and saying, particularly after what he's done for them, and saying, you're not going. I don't see it. I get the feeling that it's time to move on, and they've just brought Anderson in. And yes, he hasn't been in the building long, and all the other good things that Rodri would add to City in and around the stadium and the building and the training. I just feel as though it's time to move on with Rodri.
In terms of the domino effect of the, and I think Jan was talking about it, how it changes for teams around the world, what decisions that are made by Real Madrid or Manchester City. If indeed Yan Diomande is going to Real Madrid, well, that opens the path for Real Madrid to feel a whole lot better about moving on from Vini. Not the same level of player, at least not at this point in his career, but it does. If you are sitting in a boardroom and you're trying to think about the possibilities for Real Madrid, and you're in some way trying to explain to yourself, hey, why does moving away from Vini make sense? Bringing Diomande into the locker room and into the building, it's one way of saying, okay, we have this guy, we can get the money for that guy, and then we can go for Michael Olise, and now all of a sudden your argument gets a whole lot stronger. I'm just saying that these things are connected.
Alex, keep Sid Lowe locked in a box and you can keep talking about all this over the next few days. Are you on holiday, mate, or is that you counting down now to start the season, which of course is live and exclusive on ESPN Plus?
I've been back at work for a while.
All right, okay.
All right. We were giving off that, Alex. Not our fault.
How do you say passive-aggressive in Spanish?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Alex. Much appreciated. Just a reminder to keep up to date with all the latest transfer news. There's going to be a lot, isn't there, over the next few weeks. Be sure to check out Transfer Talk over on the website.